We have some really disturbing breaking news. Donald Trump, it is being reported by the New York Times and ABC. ABC first reported it, and then the New York Times confirmed it, that Trump is going to accept a luxury 747 from Qatar for use as Air Force One. The plan raises substantial ethical issues given the immense value of the lavishly appointed plane and the fact that Mr. Trump plans to use it after he leaves office. Yes. So it's not even the fact that Donald Trump is accepting this gift from a foreign country, a royal family in the Middle East. It's also the fact that he plans on keeping it. So it's not like they're gifting it to the United States. They're gifting it directly to Trump. I've got a ton of reaction. But first, let's just dive into this story real fast. The Trump administration plans to accept a luxury Boeing 747-8 plane as a donation from Qatari royal family that will be upgraded to serve as Air Force One. And possibly the biggest foreign gift. Can we not call this a gift, the New York Times? This is a bribe. This is a bribe. This is not a gift. This is a bribe. There's a reason why we don't allow government officials to accept gifts. When I worked in the city council, I could only accept, I think, $80 worth of gifts from people, or I would have been in danger of violating ethics. That was a New York City Council. But you're telling me the President of the United States can accept gifts? I'm telling you, we are going to defeat Donald Trump, and then we have to reform this fucking country. We have to reform it. Because this should not be allowed. I don't want a Democrat doing this. I don't want a Republican doing this. I don't want them buying stocks. We have to reform the corruption. And that's what this is. Corruption. The plan raises substantial ethical issues given the immense value of the lavishly appointed plane and the fact that Mr. Trump plans to use it after he leaves office. Sold new, a commercial Boeing 747-8 costs in the range of $400 million. Mr. Trump toured the Qatari-owned 747, which is just over a decade old, while it was parked at the Palm Beach International Airport in February. The New York Times reported then that the jet was being considered as a possible new Air Force One. A Defense Department official said on Sunday that Air Force One has not yet reached any agreement on a contract to refurbish this plane or to make the security upgrades and modifications necessary for Air Force One, and the Air Force could not legally do so until it took ownership of the plane. And assuming that were to happen, it would take an extended period of time to complete the contract and, more importantly, to do the actual upgrades and modifications. We're talking years, not months, said the Defense Department official. Another person with knowledge of the effort to acquire the plane said that the Qataris had initially offered to donate it immediately to the Trump Library and then have Mr. Trump use it while in office, but government lawyers said that would be violation of the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution, the person said. The current plan has been signed off on by government lawyers who concluded it does not violate the Emoluments Clause of the Constitution, and the Defense Department can accept the gift, the official said. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm sure the Department of Justice is on the up and up on what is legal and what's not. What's so funny to me is that Caroline Leavitt, literally 2 days ago, was asked if Donald Trump is making money and benefiting from the presidency financially. And look at how she responded. And keep this in mind as you think about this news.
And let me just get to the premise of your question that both of you have raised. I think it's frankly ridiculous that anyone in this room would even suggest that President Trump is doing anything for his own benefit. He left a life of luxury and a life of running a very successful real estate empire for public service, not just once, but twice. And again, the American public reelected him back to this White House because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This is a president who has actually lost money for being president of the United States.
Money.
I don't remember these same type of questions being asked of my predecessor about a career politician who was clearly profiting off of this office. That is not what President Trump does, and this White House holds ourselves to the highest of ethical standards.
The highest of ethical standards. Brother, he has a meme coin that anyone can give money to. He's made billions off of. He's just made $500,000 from a Middle East royal family. I got some reactions. I got a bunch of reactions. Yes, Congress can impeach for this. Do you think Congress should impeach for this? I kind of think they do. Will Stansel said, can anyone explain to me how Trump donating the brand new Air Force One to his own presidential library right before leaving office so he can continue to use it is any different from the president stealing Air Force One? It's not. It's not. The president is going to steal Air Force One. We have to... NATO members have been rethinking plans to order U.S. fighter jets for fear they might continue a kill switch that would allow U.S. to crash them if the U.S. turns against NATO. That's true. And I'm sure Qatar would never. Someone else said, the national security risk here is unimaginable, underscores how much of a liability Trump is to this country. This cannot be allowed based on national security alone. I mean, yeah, sure. I've read that the Defense Department is going to retrofit it and could do whatever upgrades it's going to need. I don't know. Are they going to be looking every single nook and cranny to know if there's a mic there, to know if there's a camera there connected to the internet? It seems like a huge fucking security risk. Sorry. This is the MAGA spin on it. This is how MAGA is spinning all this. Comfortably Smug is a Twitter personality with 340,000 followers. Wow. Who could have guessed the story from ABC is a lie? Here's the actual story of Trump renovating a plane that Qatar once owned, but because Boeing has failed to deliver a new Air Force One. It almost feels like ABC is being paid by Boeing. Oh my God. So the right is blaming an American company on not building Air Force One quickly enough. And that's why Donald Trump has to take a gift from a Middle East royal family. The gift is bad enough on its own, but can we talk about how insane it is to use a foreign gifted jet as Air Force One? Air Force One has a lot of capability that a luxury jet simply doesn't, and that's before we even consider the obvious spying, bugging, security concerns. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? All right. So I'm going to end with this. Barack Obama simply asks, he went on a two-minute rant on this, but Barack Obama simply asked, what if I did any of this? What if I did any of this? Here it is.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me, or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?